Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Nine Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video, where two British men, James and Funhan, they are actually very popular, right? They have podcasts, where they discuss some certain things and all that. So it happened that they were in Atlanta, right? So saying that there are no baddies in Atlanta, right? That is not a problem. Fine, right? So it happened that they also had an interview or something where somebody was asked them, about black women, if they dated black women or they and all that. And you need to see the response. Like you could like feel it like these people, it was just very obvious, right? And then the man kept on like, trash talk black women, and they were busy giggling and laughing. See, let me say this. This is not the first or second time I brought something like this here, seeing black men sit down with men and then not being able to defend black women. It's kind of disgusting because I really don't know how I am going to sit with other people and watch them talk down on black men. That is impossible. And that also shows how people feel about black women or how people feel about you, right? Even if you are not dating a black woman, you don't know a lot of black women, you're a black man and you have I'm sure they got sisters, right? But this is absolutely disgusting. Let's get into this video.
So James and Fuhad from the Shits and Gigs podcast, they have been losing a lot of fans because people are getting the sense that they don't like black women, at least not sexually attracted to them. Because they said they went to Atlanta for 4 days and didn't find any beautiful women. Now that is crazy. That is crazy. You went to Atlanta for 4 days and didn't find any beautiful women. And no, they didn't say black women specifically, but we're talking about Atlanta here. What the fuck you think they was talking about? But to be anywhere for 4 days and not find any beautiful women is crazy. You could have went to a forest in fucking Kansas and ran into a bad bitch. But Atlanta? The same Atlanta I'm thinking about? Atlanta, Georgia? What the fuck? And to be honest, I never thought they really fucked with black women like that. I'm not surprised. Like, from the first 10-second clip I seen of these guys, I never thought that they was all about black women at all. But a lot of their fan base is black women. The thing is that you can find someone attractive even if they're not your type. Even if they are only attracted to Hispanic or white or whatever the fuck. Like, you can still say someone is attractive even if they're not specifically your type or you're sexually attracted to them. Hell, I can find a guy attractive. That don't mean I want to fuck him. But like I said, I never thought they liked black women. Even when they said this clip, I thought y'all saw this one.
Have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah. Oh, really?
We love them all.
Yeah. That means white.
Who
nah.
Yeah. that means white.
No. Translation.
Kendrick fans, get him!
Shit, that's what gave it away for me, but what y'all think?
James and Fuhad were trending, and I thought it was because people were upset that they said that there were no bad bitches in Atlanta, right? And that started a whole, they don't like black women conversation. And I'm like, that's a little bit of a stretch. Until you commented this. Shout out to you, and shout out to the person who tagged me in this video.
What is the black girlfriend effect?
You don't know about this? Glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, clean shape up.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. Beards because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. You ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah. That means white.
This was very reminiscent of Quinn sitting down with that white guy who was making weird jokes. Do you guys remember that whole situation? I can't remember his name. He was making fun of Fanita and said something about her skin tone in front of Quinn, and people were upset with her for not defending a fellow black woman. This is that. It was obvious, the uncomfortable, ha ha he he, to try to not make it awkward, but babe, I'm sorry. Let's make it awkward. Let's make it real uncomfortable. What the fuck are you talking about? James and Fuhad. Hello. Your main demographic. I'm actually genuinely shocked.
The sooner you accept that the collective of black men would never truly actually defend black women, and that every single chance that they get to embarrass the black women, that they will take it every single time, the sooner you'll be okay. The sooner you'll be less disappointed by people like James and Fuhad, anything that's coming out with black men disparaging women, the sooner you'll be less shocked and to expect it, and to not let your feelings get all involved in it. But yet they were sitting on that man's podcast giggling, and how that white man was disparaging black women and they weren't doing anything about it is nothing new. It's not shocking. And the rhetoric that white man was using is rhetoric that he has heard from black men. So him feeling comfortable talking about black women like that, black men have made it okay for white men to disrespect black women and not do anything about it. Because if a black man was to go onto a white man's podcast and disparage white women, he will get checked. He will get checked. They won't do it because they understand that white men, they protect their women. You come for them and it's going to be a problem. And it's not even just only white men, like Asian men, Hispanic men. If you go on their podcast and you just disrespect their women, you will get checked. You won't do it. Black men won't do it because they understand that they protect their women. It is only black men that let their women get disrespected every single time and don't do anything about it. And I have come to terms and I have accepted that a long time ago. And I'm at peace with that, where if I see something coming out about somebody that I liked, I'll be like, oh, well, I'm not shocked. And another thing that black women also need to understand is that when black men like James and Fuhad, who have any kind of notoriety or fame and they have access to all kinds of women, 99.99% of the time, they are going to choose non-black women over you. They are going to have more respect for non-black women over you. And that's something we also need to accept and to understand. You yourself, you can also date out. You can go where you are loved. You can go where you are respected. It does not have to be with a black man. You just need to accept that this is how they are. And once you accept how they are, you move through life differently and you won't be in so much pain and hurt over it. And lastly, black women, it's not you. It's not you. So don't feel like, is there something wrong with me? It's not you. It's them. Like, your beauty and the way that you are internally and externally, every single thing about you is absolutely freaking amazing. It's not you. It's just that we are paired up with a group of men, not saying all, again, a group of men that don't really do anything, not only to protect our communities, but to protect their women. It's not us.
Let a man talk long enough and they will show you who they are. It happens all the fucking time. That's why I'm not shocked with James and Fuhad. First of all, as someone who works flights to the UK, like on the regular, I'm not surprised. When you're walking through the city and you see couples holding hand in hand, especially when it involves a black man or a biracial man, yeah. So it doesn't shock me, because here's the thing about Atlanta, because it's like, oh, we went to Atlanta and there were no baddies. Their definition of baddies is different from the US or Atlanta's definition of baddies. I'm not shocked in the slightest. Girls in the UK, black girls, black women in the UK will tell you the same shit. And the thing about Atlanta, or really any city where it's predominantly black, is you will not get the same frame of black women. Yes, you know what Atlanta is known for is the BBL baddies, but you will also have the regular girls that just go to work every day. And like Mecca said, because there's a lot of Nigerians in Atlanta, there's literally a Nigerian embassy in Roswell, Georgia. I know because I've been there a couple of times to renew my passport, which, praise the Lord, they came out with a 10-year passport, because I never want to see a consulate again. Anyway, yes, you'll see the baddies and whatever, the stripper builds, the Kardashian builds, but you'll also see regular women. You will also see regular, whether it's slim frame, medium frame, thick frame, fat, whatever. So for them to say in the 4 days you've been in Atlanta, and you have not seen one baddie, yeah, I know what you are. I never subscribed to their podcast, but of course I see their clips show up on TikTok, and they're very funny. Their interactions with each other is pretty funny. I think it's cute. You know how I guess they're not really too scared of expressing themselves in terms of like how they like each other as friends. Like, oh, I want to know if you miss me when I'm around. Like, yeah, I think it's cute. But at the same time, you know, they are two British men. Yeah. The country where they are the OG racists. And you guys are shocked that their definition of a baddie is not, you know, black women. And to the two hosts of the Poor Minds podcast, y'all live in Atlanta too, right? Like, it's not like they're going out on the street and they're asking people for their licenses and their addresses and where they were born. So y'all fall in that category too. Y'all look like a stereotypical Atlanta baddie, and that's fine. Like, I'm not, you know, they're pretty women, they're pretty girls. I think one's from Houston, I forgot what the other one's from. But it's like, y'all sitting there laughing and keying, but they talking about you too. And then I saw one of the hosts respond talking about, oh, we tend to keep it lighthearted, and, you know, they weren't gonna try to, I guess, argue with something about someone's preferences or whatever. I'm just like, girl, okay. I don't even know. But my thing is, if you hadn't told them where you were from originally, they roped you in to the Atlanta. They roped you into Atlanta. That's like me going to New York and seeing all these men, women in New York, and I'm like, damn, there's no one attractive here. I don't know who lives in New York, who grew here, and who flew here. I don't know. You fit in that umbrella. And then for James and Fuhad to get on is this still called Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne the God and Andrew Schultz, and sat there while Andrew Schultz was being very like anti-black towards black women, and they said nothing. Again, not surprised. We can clearly see who is big bro in there. But anyway, here's what's gonna happen. They might come out with a statement. You know, oh, we apologize when we said this, we meant this, we didn't mean any harm, whatever. What's gonna happen is the girls who fit under that aesthetic would be like, oh my God, they're tripping. They clearly meant this. They clearly meant that. And then the incels, or the ones who hate black women, are gonna be all of a sudden, they're gonna start following Shits and Giggles, whatever the show is called. Because they had been talking about whether or not them two boys is gay. They had been questioning, you know, their friendship and how they're so close and how they talk or whatever. So now, because they have basically said, oh, Atlanta ain't got no baddies. They ain't got no baddies. All of a sudden, these men are going to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should follow them. But yeah, I mean, listen, I don't lose anything because I never followed them. I saw their TikToks and things like that. Other than that, you know, no skin off of my nose, okay? Skin off of my nose. I think that's what the phrase is. Stop letting two people from across the pond tell you what is and what isn't a baddie. If you look at what the UK girls is looking like, the white UK girls, let me clarify, the white UK girls, it's very interesting. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
James and Fuad. Is that how you say it? I thought we were safe. I thought the girlies were safe with you. Like, anytime black women try to be fans of black men in some capacity, there is it just feels like betrayal. It just feels like betrayal. I just saw the clip of, the guys from the Shits and Gigs podcast with Andrew Schultz, and like they really sat there and giggled while Andrew like spouted all types of stereotypes about us. And then to be like, I ain't seen no baddies in Atlanta. James. Flawed. I see parasocial relationships be messing us up. You know what I'm saying? They be messing us up where we feel too close to people and we don't know them people. And this is one that has me messed up, because you guys really just, wow. And I know y'all gonna come on here with the diaspora wars and they're British black and all that, but still, that hurts, man. That hurts, bruh. That is, wow. I just want to be able to like, I just want to be able to like a famous man, not black, white, purple, green, Hispanic, Asian, however he comes. I just want to be able to like a famous man, because as soon as you be like, yo, I rocks with that one, boop, they go and say or do some, wow, just wow.
What is the black girlfriend effect? You just blow out the other culture. Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like, clean shape up.
Yeah, like that. They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed around this black girl complaining about shit all the time. That's why they gotta shave their hair, bro. Black guys with black girlfriends, they grow beards because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of them.
What is Kamala Harris's plan to get the podcast mics away from men? Like, I need their mics stripped immediately. And while she's at it, she can take J-Lo's mic too. Admittedly, I had never watched James and Fuhad's podcast because, again, it is still a man with a podcast mic. But I would see clips of them here and there whenever they would show up on my For You page, and they seemed like smart, level-headed men. So to see them participate in this buffoonery of laughing at a man who is disrespecting black women, disappointed but not surprised. Grandma not mad. She just heard. Then I looked up Mustache Man with the horse teeth because I had no idea who the fuck he was. And I saw that he said that it would be a disservice to Beyonce to compare her to Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift is in another galaxy. And that told me everything that I needed to fucking know. I'm gonna hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. The delusion runs deep with this one. Possibly even deeper than J-Lo. Like, it's just interesting to me. Like, why is it that y'all can never seem to have a conversation that doesn't somehow involve black women? Like, I get it, right? We live in your heads rent fucking free. And if I were anything other than a black woman would live in my head rent free also. But like, just say that, right? Like, be who you are, speak your truth. Shitting on black women is tired. It's boring. Next topic. Next caller. And to the black women that are fans of James and Fuhad, when they get on here in a few days with their fuck ass apology, we should have done better in the situation, we'll do better, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, stand the fuck up. I fear the apology will only be because they are receiving backlash. They had the perfect opportunity to stand up for black women, and they did not do it. So because they did not stand up, bitch, you stand the fuck up. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. So when they get on here with their fuck ass apology, tell them to call it a J-Lo concert ticket because you are not buying it. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
Shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the time.
I hate to say this because in my heart of hearts, I wish this wasn't true, but there are no safe men. All women know this, but we forget. And then we get reminded when this type of shit happens. You could be a woman in a relationship, married to someone that is the number one best man ever. He could be super pro women's rights. He could look at women like they are queens. He could be respectful. He's not the creepy guy. But that guy, if he is around another man that he looks up to, that he values, all of his safeness, all of his women empowerment views are out the window. If that so-called safe man is speaking with another man that they respect, and that man is saying some messed up misogynistic shit, they will either ignore it, laugh it off, or even go to the extent of agreeing with them. The craziest part is even if they disagree with that misogynistic crap, they're not going to speak up because it's going against the herd. Did you notice in the video when Fuhad is looking at James and they kind of are uncomfortable looking at each other, but then one of them sees themselves laughing and then the other one starts to laugh and they're just like, okay, this is what we're doing. As humans, it's really hard to be the person that stands out. If everybody's agreeing on something and we're the one who's like, hey, and calling it out, usually we're going to be seen as the bad guy. So I do understand on a certain level why men can't speak up, but still, every day, we make a choice. And it really saddens me to say that any so-called safe men, they have to consciously be safe. Like it's not a natural thing that comes within them. They have to actually think, hold on, let me speak up and say something because this is messed up. This is not right. Just a couple of months ago, I was out with a bunch of so-called safe women empowerment men. And there was a really super creepo at the bar. And that creepo was making somebody that I was with very uncomfortable. And you know what the men said? Well, it is what it is. It's society. You go out in public. You just got to expect that there's going to be these guys that make you very uncomfortable. Instead of going up to the man and saying, get the hell out of here. Instead, they're like, you have to like adjust your personality. You just have to accept that's the way it is. For those who don't really understand, I'll give a different example. You know how in most families, there's a scapegoat? And the scapegoat is a person who calls out really toxic behavior. But what's crazy about that is that the person who calls the shit out is usually to blame for the shit. They're not creating the shit. They're not saying that shit. They're just calling it out. And then all of a sudden it's their fault. That's what's happening to women right now. Women are the scapegoats of the world. Men are doing some toxic shit and they need to be called out, even by other men. But men's feelings matter more. That's what the patriarchy is. The patriarchy is men's feelings come above everything. So if a so-called safe man is in a situation where this creepo is doing something or saying something, his feelings still matter first before yours. So even though that shit is wrong, they're not going to call it out because it's going to bother their feelings. It's better. It's easier for you to just suppress your feeling. So if you're a man listening to this, because I know I have some men followers, instead of coming in the comments and being like, women too, you're not safe. Stop coming in my comments saying this stupid nonsense because you're showing that you are not safe. If you want to be a safe man, understand that women's feelings matter the same as yours. Our feelings matter equally. And when there's some toxic shit being said about women, call it out. Make that guy really uncomfortable. If he is able to dish it out, then he should be able to take it. Stop allowing men to say stupid shit about women unless you secretly believe it. Then you're not a safe guy. And if you're a woman watching this and you have a hard time speaking up, work on your self-value. Every day you wake up and you say, I matter, my feelings matter, my words matter, my emotions matter. And the more you build your self-value and your self-confidence, you won't give a shit when anybody says about you.
I'm gonna make this real quick because I'm driving, but I'm seeing a lot of videos about the James and Fuhad situation. The only thing I want to say about that is they're British. What were y'all really expecting? They're British. And also, if you watch their podcast, I haven't seen an episode of their podcast that lets on that they prefer black women or whatever the case may be. They don't talk bad about black.
So this is all I got from this video. And the truth is that I think since yesterday, I saw so many videos and James and Fuhad. I was like, what's going on? Because I know these guys. Like, I see them, they have podcasts, and I am not following them, but they pop up on my FYP most times, and I am not following them. So I did not lose anything. The truth is that sometimes it's really crazy how men, black men, will sit down with other people or these people, right? And then describe black women and say some certain things about black women, right? And you sit there giggling. That alone shows or tells me how you feel about black women, right? Because he actually said he went to Atlanta, both of them went to Atlanta, right? And they didn't see Buddy, and they were like, nothing. Whew, really, some people cannot keep their mouth shut. But I love it when they don't keep their mouth shut, because how would you know how they feel about black women or how they feel about some certain things if they don't say it, or like it just like pop off their mouth, and then we get to know how they feel. This is really very distasteful and kind of disgusting that men these days would rather sit with whoever and want to talk about black women, discuss black women in so many ways. And then when I found out that these people are just not like, are just protectors, right? Was when the white man asked them, so have you dated both white ladies and black women? They said, and the other one said it, and then I think the other one said, yeah, both. And then the other one, both, yeah, both. That alone, with the giggling, like, that alone, it's already enough to tell you how they feel about you. One thing I know for sure is that I am not that person that will sit on a table and someone that is not even from where I am is asking me about black men. And I am sitting there letting them have opinion over our own men, my own men, right? And then having to tell me, are you okay? Are you okay? Is that not even a red flag? That I am just going to be seated and somebody is saying some certain things, I have a father, I have brothers, I have cousins. So that is not okay. That is not okay. Even if you are not dating black women, right? At least you have black sisters. So if you cannot defend your sister, so who? It means you all even. I just don't get it. But sometimes looking at James and Fuhad, I don't know what I see. I see them as couple. I do not see them as friends. Yeah, this is all I have to say. But you really all can do better, I don't know why they do this, but this has really been the story, because this is not the first or second time that you see some black men seated with white men and then shitting on black women. Who even give birth to you? See you all in my next video. Bye for now.